Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for October 23rd through the 29th, 2017. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to really tune into the frequency of this week's energy and to see where our alignment is at this moment and in relationship to maybe what we are feeling. So we want to try to find a way to allow ourselves to sort of drift in the direction of your spiritual alignment. And what they're showing me right off is that there is a lot of emotional vulnerability or sensitivity. Um, there's a sense that you may be carrying around a lot of other people's um, sort of emotions or moods, or just you're picking up on a lot and you're carrying a lot. So this week you want to be very much aware of not internalizing what others are feeling. They're showing me that it kind of gets magnified for you in this week, and they're giving me a sense that this is not something for you to be alarmed about. So turn your ego down a bit, okay, so that it can help you to understand what's actually occurring for you. This sort of magnification of your sensitivity is is actually a good thing, because it means that your gifts are becoming stronger. Your awareness of the truth in all situations, even the clarity of your purpose, is growing more stable. So the word I'm hearing actually is stability. So these are signs of the stability that is coming from the foundation of your spiritual alignment, your soul. So it's like your soul is laying down another layer of um, clarity and certainty, understanding, perception from that divine perspective. So you may get caught up, and this is what they mean by taking it personal, internalizing these things in a personal way. You may get caught up in all of the what you're feeling, so the drama. They don't want you to be dramatic about this awareness, this new awareness that you're having. For some of you, it may even, and don't try to quantify it by, you know, whether yours is sort of bigger than another. It could be subtle differences, but the subtleness of it is just as powerful as something that's sort of coming at you sort of with a big bang, so to speak. So they were just showing me a container of water, which almost sort of looked like it was clear, sort of shaped like a ship for some reason. Not sure why, but we're going to go with it. And so the feeling that I got was that the first thing that comes to me as I'm seeing the word gifts. And so there's something about the emotions, your water, being clear. It feels like, you need, it felt like a need to sort of submerge yourself in your spiritual clarity. Now, they keep repeating the word to me right now: job, laugh, and help. So I'm getting a sense that, in the word back, that that there that you may that some opportunity may sort of come up for you, and it may not mean like employment. It could mean your spiritual purpose, job. Sometimes when I do see it, for me, it may mean a client, but they're writing about the people. And so there's something that you may be called to do to be of service to other people and who are in need of help. The thing is that don't feel it's almost like the word laugh means here in a spiritual context when we don't understand how things are actually unfolding or coming to us, and we are making a mountain out of a molehill, so to speak. And if we could only see ahead, and what I'm getting the sense about this watership is that your emotions actually are giving you a sense of what's coming, the ship coming in. This it's giving you this transparency. So this is why this bowl was shaped in clear bowl was shaped the shape of a ship. Um, and so what they want you to do is leading you to an event, and they're writing that this event is going to be happy. That's the word they're writing, a happy event. But you may worry because it may not look like what you want, but they want you to follow the emotional transparency that the universe is giving you. Okay, so don't get don't make too much out of this. Okay, your reaction. Don't react. Don't don't react, but without really paying attention to the your emotions. Your emotional sensitivity is going to sort of act as this guidance of truth. Okay, there's a feeling that your emotions are providing you a lot of clarity and a lot of truth. So you really need to listen to what you're feeling. Pay attention to what you're feeling. Follow it, even if you don't quite get it, or you want to resist it for different reasons. But they want you to pay attention to the emotional connection that you feel in everything. So pay attention to this is the emotional connection is sort of the underlining order is what I'm hearing. Okay, so pay attention to the underlying order of your emotional connections, because that's the truth that you need to follow. That's the clarity that you need to follow, not the ramblings in your mind, your ego, trying to dissect and pull everything apart, and trying to be caught, calling itself being practical, trying to protect you, all that stuff. Hey, this whole watership clarity thing, the universe is saying that they have you. You don't need to rationalize this. Your inner being has this. The waters of your soul, it's got you. Okay, so trust it. And they keep showing me this laugh thing, which means when I figured out what this meant is one night I had awakened, I guess from a dream or something, or I was thinking about something, I was worried about something, and all of a sudden I heard my relatives who passed on just laughing. I recognized their laugh right away. In particular, my great aunt who passed some years, just a couple, 3 or 4 years ago, and my mom, and I heard them, and I realized they were laughing because they know what it is that we're doing. It's funny to them because when they were here, they did it too. They worried. They tried to figure everything out. And the thing about it is what they now understand, the beauty of the universe, the beauty of God's love is so profound. The plans, He knows the plans He's prepared for us because He plans them from the moment He gives something to you. And so it's already every avenue, every possible avenue, despite whatever hangups you and I have, and that sort of puts a hitch in things working out smoothly. Even then, every avenue around every one of our hangups, around every obstacle that could be thrown at you, every avenue around them, the path of relief has already been measured and sort of orchestrated. Every scenario. This is not difficult for God or the universe to do. It is in fact easy. It's like it's as easy as a language, but your native tongue for them. This is like a native tongue solutions, and your our things just don't have the power to frustrate the universe. Isn't that amazing? And so, because there's no power, there's no resistance that we could offer that could ever frustrate the universe, then this is why it is simple and easy for the universe to orchestrate all the avenues for all the possibilities of every hang up, of every obstacle that every interaction of contrast could create. The universe can create equally the along with that contrast with the resistance can create equally the affluence of our desires. So all you have to do, and I'm seeing the word now, is stay present. That's all you and I have to do. We don't have to get it right. We don't have to be right. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be, especially anything, as what we would label as ideal. We don't have to especially be any of this. All we have to do is get out of the business of trying to use those oars to navigate, and let the stream navigate, because that's what it's doing all the time. Before it gave you the dream, before it planted the hope in your heart, before it planted the idea, before you picked it up, the stream was already flowing with all the avenues. All the avenues. And all you and I have to do is let the stream take us where we are going, based on with how we are flowing, basically. Okay? So it's not like you're not just sitting there doing nothing, but you have to be the receiver, right? You have to be the receiver of the signal, of the desire. You are the receiver of the desire. And the only thing that you have to do is give your permission to the desire. And the only way the simple way that you can give your permission to the desire is to just simply be open, be honest with what you're feeling and how you're feeling about it. Be honest. Because the more that you're honest, the more that you are being truthful. The more that you're being truthful, the more clarity you have of the dream, or what it is, the desire that you really want. You know, the clarity can only lead to specifics of the desire. And as you become more specific about the desire, the avenues and the momentum of the stream becomes stronger, and it basically it doesn't you decide the course of where the stream is going because of this clarity of the desire. Now, all that I just said, I can't remember what I just said because I was just hearing it as it was coming through. But you can replay that if you want to remember. But it's like that's all you need to do. You're not separate from the process. You are one with the process. The universe. It's like sometimes it feels like we think of like we're separate from this currency of love. It's quite the opposite. This currency of love is as if it flows through your veins as much as you are flowing through its veins. So this is why when you trust your feelings and when you're honest about what you're feeling, so when you get honest about what you're feeling, then there's the only room that's left is for truth to be revealed to you, and that truth leads you to that clarity, which allows you the clarity that allows you to be specific about what you desire. It gets refined. And as it's refining, the computer of the universe that knows how to orchestrate avenues and possibilities and opportunities, it's recalibrating and aligning with the specifics. But the specifics came out of your honesty. And I hope you understand what I'm saying, because we talked about this last week about being honest with your feelings, and so that when you struggle about a decision, or you just struggle about with doubt about what's going on in your life and who you are and what you want, when you're doing that, all of that's not real, because at the core of that struggle is peace, a knowing of what it is that you really want. It's just that that ego is always telling you don't deserve it. And so what you end up doing is you start having all kinds of conversations about a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter to you. It's all just deflecting you away from the truth of what you specifically desire, because you just don't believe it's possible. Because your ego is constantly telling you that you're just foolhardy, well-intentioned, but naive, and you've probably heard some naysayers repeat what your ego says to you. They just pick up on it. And you get upset with yourself or them and irritated, frustrated, and that frustration is dishonesty, which keeps you from seeing the truth and having the clarity and believing in that the specifics of your desire are possible. And so therefore you end up getting a completely different experience. But we have to let that go now. We let go of all the blame that we place out there on others and ourselves, and just get honest. Screw all the, this could be, but I can't because, and but I would like to, but just take all that away for a moment and just sit in and sit through the resistance until you stop struggling with it. It's going to come at you, but just don't struggle with it. Feel yourself just letting go, surrendering, giving up, until you can just get to that point where now you can face your desires and what it is that you really are feeling. And if you didn't have all those beliefs and hang-ups in your imagination, what would you let yourself have? And then after what would you let yourself have, then what would it look like? And then just let that get more specific. And what you have to keep doing is, because that resistance is going to try to tell you, and you just go, and you don't try to resist it. You just lay low and say, okay, just let yourself glide. And then when this resistance can't find a way to latch in with you anymore, then you continue the process till you get there. Now, of course, when you get there, you're going to be scared to death. And you may even Say, ego, where are you? I need you. Come back. Save me from this from this insanity. But it's not insanity. It's actually sanity, and you just don't get there often enough, and that's why it appears to be insane, because your ego has become so comfortable. It's insanity you've tried to reason as sanity, and you get my whole point. This is what we mean about needing to get honest, because when you get honest, then you can really start to move in the flow and recognize that you are not separate, that this has been a part of you and you've been a part of it, and you are one. You beat, your beats as one with the universe, with God. Okay, so let's take a look at the card, which is going to be the theme for this week. So we're not going to be afraid of our emotions and what we're feeling. We're not going to take it personal. And here comes our Archangel again, Jophiel, and this card, patience. And you remember, Archangel Jophiel's name means the beauty of God. So this is the time now to focus on all the all that inspires you in the universe. Because what inspires you, you see, becomes beautiful. And what becomes beautiful to you becomes something that you love and you treasure. So again, what happens is that now the idea for patience is appreciation, and to focus on the things that you appreciate. Put your attention, put your work effort, follow that. So, you're in that stream, and what they want you to do is take inspired action. Okay? Take inspired action. Don't 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 go with that effort or force action because you fear that you're not doing enough, or you fear you're not doing what's right. But you do what feels right. You do what has, what you're passionate about, what has momentum for you, where you're enthusiastic, where you feel soulful connections happening between you and others, that the interactions create sparks. That's the kind of flow. That's the energy that you're looking for when you the word that you use to say action. That's what it's about. That's the action of the universe. That's how you stay woven into the fabric of the universe's divine movement and flow. So be aware of this. So be patient doesn't mean sit around and twiddle your thumbs. It means be attentive, be honest. Okay, am I taking this action because I'm afraid, or am I taking this action because I am passionate about this? I am drawn to this. There's something that there's something there. I can't. To resist it is to give myself pain. All right, and then that's the kind of patience we need you to have, so that then you proceed in love. You will be well on your way to prosperity. They're writing out the word fascinating or fascination. So there's another thing, something that you're fascinated with. Maybe you find that you have this fascination with something. Don't deny that fascination. Flow, go with it, explore it, be curious. This is all how the universe gets you moving into action in the physical experience. But these things, inspiration, fascination, and passion, are all about the energetic frequency of the spirit, of the soul. We're vibrational beings. And this is sort of our circuit board or our motherboard, you see. And And the actions that take place within the spiritual motherboard comes through these kinds of um, influences, inspiration, fascination, curiosity. Just add onto your list here of words that come to you that have an impact, but the impact begins from within. There's no outer influence in the sense that it's an influence that is sort of disturbing you or frustrating you or causing you to doubt yourself. All right, let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week and see where we are as we start off this week. Okay, so we have the card Unity to begin this week, and that's really interesting within itself just because we were just talking about that you are not separate from the divine. You're not separate from the its momentum, its blessings, its intelligence, its sense of ease and relaxation, its stability. You are not the opposite in truth. It's just, again, like that word laugh, that we just don't, we work with this sort of idea that our everything that is good, there's going to be difficulties and struggle because how else will they come about? As if there is no support way before, a support of momentum, like a big tidal wave that was is what hit you and struck you with the whole idea. And you know that they don't just stop right there. They keep going right past you. Okay? And so you gotta keep flowing. You gotta keep looking in the direction of where the energy's flowing. And most times we don't. Okay. So this card is a sort of a card of tradition, right? Where we're looking at sort of structures of government or religion, just society. This card represents society and it's sort of its basic constructs, its status quo. But this card also reminds us, as it says here, it reminds us of, looking at different approaches, um, that maybe we need to step out of the box a bit and look at things a little bit differently. When I see this card, it reminds me it also reminds me that you don't want to just come in and just throw everything out. But what you want to do is you want to take a look at what's working and what's not working. And what's not working, that means we need to get a little creative in our approach and sort of come together to sort of understand one another and where we're coming from so that we can move together, unified. So, I'm getting a sense that you just don't, it's not, you can't go in there and think you're just going to get there right off the bat. And yeah, you may have this wonderful idea and a solution, but you got to remember that you are sort of the, I don't know if this is a word, but that you're the one who's been called or summoned to sort of, I'm going to not use that word, so don't worry, I'm not questioning it now. But you're being the one called to inspire others, to motivate others. So what you must do is that, so you don't lose that momentum, is make sure that you come in and now you assess where people are. Where are they now on a vibrational scale in relationship to the momentum of and frequency of your desire or your idea, right? And so then what you must do is then build a platform where where they're able to join you and gradually come into the affluence of your own vibration. If you are abrupt, what's going to happen is it's just going to throw them off. It's too much energy, which is why people will sort of not it seems like they're not supporting you. They're not supporting what you're saying. They can't support your frequency because you haven't helped them. You haven't supported them to bring them up to speed vibrationally to where you are. So that means that you have to be patient and take that into account. That you're going to have to bring people up to speed. So there's something going on. Like I'm seeing the word leadership, and or leader actually is the word I'm seeing. And so whatever your situation is, and this doesn't have to be with a group dynamic. It could be in a relationship, a problem, or some conflict, or some disagreement, or just not seeing things sort of eye to eye. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a negative thing. It doesn't mean that the person's gonna act oppositional in any way, but it's just that they may not understand. So, for instance, you could be working with. I'm just getting this thought about teaching or working with students, a student, or you explaining something to someone, and they're really trying and they're willing, but they're just not getting it. And the reason is because you have to pay attention to their vibrational frequency and find a way to soothe it so that they release whatever their hangups are, and let themselves float up to the surface of this idea that you're presenting. Okay, so whatever your situation is in this week, you don't get overwhelmed by the emotions and what you're feeling, and all the clarity and all the truth that you're getting and picking up from other people. Don't judge it, because it doesn't always look pretty either. Don't judge it. But what your job or your role is, you are the energy leader. What your role is to help them, to help create avenues for them. And the universe is going to show you those avenues so that they can work around their hangups and use your heightened awareness as a gift. Okay? Get that? All right. So let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. Okay. So this is the 10 of spring, and this card is about sometimes feeling a little overwhelmed and feeling that you've taken on too much. So I'm hearing that you may feel like, oh my God, what have I done? I've taken on more than I wanted to. I want I wanted to play like a different role. I wanted to do something a little bit more less stressful, or less complicated, and that's okay to be honest about that. So guess what? How can you then follow the path of relief? How can you make the situation or make something less complicated than what it is? What are you doing? And this is now when you can pay attention to how you're flaring up, because spring wands fire. So how are you flaring up? Okay, and I'm getting a sense that for some of you, your body may be doing some things, like you may have some swelling in joints and things like that, or you may have like some skin issues where there's inflammation because you are taking on too much stress, and then you are just letting it boil and simmer inside, and there's no relief. Okay, so just because sometimes you get sick doesn't mean you should get upset about that. It's like, oh, so I need to release some steam here, or I need something is suppressing my immune system. Something I'm doing, I'm not being honest about it because I'm afraid that I can't have what I want. I can't have my desire. And therefore, then what you start doing is doing what the universe would not do, which is you start trying to patch up the situation instead of maybe you need to go release so that it can get to be healed. Okay? All right. Let me just tune in and see. Yeah. So, again, in the middle of the week, there's just some information about, for some of you, a lot of your sort of symptoms is just information that you need to look at. Okay, once you're honest, you'll see those symptoms sort of begin to alleviate themselves. Okay, and we have the Five of Summer. I feel like we had this card last week as well, and noticing we have five and then 10, so it's like tens, two fives. So it's like there's a lot of changes happening right now, and some of these changes are important because they're helping you to become soulful. This is the word the angels have sort of thrown out about this whole ascension process, is meaning that our soul is becoming more fully um, in, fully active and enabled by you as those walls and things are sort of coming down. So again, this is about, this card is about emotional loss, and not taking those losses personal. Don't react. Okay, what's happening is that there's some things that you really need to let go of in order for you to feel better emotionally, right? Because when you traditionally see this card, um, you see someone, a figure that's looks like they're in mourning of some sort, looking at crying over spilt milk. And so the thing is that that would be an indication, that vision is that you need to shift. Like what you see here, you see her running from that sort of the darkness or the shadows towards the light. This card is not meant to judge either energy or either frequency. It's just it represents you moving away from something that is no longer healthy for you. And so I see this as a card, a feeling of healing, focusing in this week on your emotions are going to show you very true things. It's going to be showing you what your soul's integrity is, and in order to help you to make decisions, to discern that you need to seek out relief, that you need to move with the flow, that you've been paddling those oars, that when you needed to really listen to your what fascinates you, or what intrigues you, or what you're passionate about, or what inspires you, and taking actions based on this and not your fear. Okay, so we're not telling you to run away from your fears. We're telling you to run towards what sustains you, what feeds you, what brings you alive, what allows you to, look at her wings. They seem almost kind of hardened. So you don't want to allow something to harden your heart. And this is sort of the warning, and that's why they want you to be patient, which is to discern. Take the time for discernment. Okay, take that time for discernment, to discern, are you moving with the flow, or are you just working hard and it's just a lot of resistance. Okay, let's take a look at the card that I pulled from the bottom, and it's the Hermit. So this card right off the bat gives me a sense of you're going to need to give yourself some time. You want to kind of withdraw from society. Look at that a little bit. Not isolate yourself, but what you want to do is withdraw from the drama. So I'm not telling you to go off into the woods, but what you have to learn to do is be, when you're out in your job and things, be a little bit more observant. Pay attention to your own energy. So start off with meditating before you leave, to get your alignment and to that balance of self and purpose. And then when you go out, this is what I used to do, any shifts that happen or I felt, I wouldn't automatically go, oh, that's me, what's wrong with me now? I used to do that. And then I realized, oh, somebody's in pain or somebody's feeling this. And after a while, you can't keep noticing all that either. You have to just be aware that just send love to, just open your heart and send love in any direction where you think it's needed. And then after a while, you need to get past that too, because you'll be stuck doing that. But if you can, just I would pray that you only receive the information that is useful, that's going to create the most momentum and the greatest amount of shift and activation for all souls involved. That would be my prayer. Okay? So, let me see if there's anything else. I'm just picking up about the hermit. Just a need to take care of yourself. Okay, since it's sort of over this card, take care of yourself. To focus on what you need to sort of alleviate your stress. What are some of the things that are just dredging up some emotional stuff for you? Um, you know, if you're experiencing or have had any recent loss, and it's been impacting you emotionally, um, is the cost worth it? Is this a wise investment? Do you see it yielding any happy returns? And if it's not, then you really do need to find a different approach. You really do need to find a different approach. It would be to your benefit, health wise, and for your career, because this suit also represents this card. I know sometimes people associate with health, but ultimately this is about the health of your dreams, right? Your ideas, your inspired ideas, and you got to remember they kind of go together, right? So if you're not working on something, you're not focused in a way that's healthy and it's productive, then your work suffers. Different areas of your life suffers, especially those things like health. So give yourself a break and be good to yourself. Okay? I'm seeing the word embarrassment, and don't let something, don't let yourself be embarrassed, ashamed by anything. If something happened, or you, said something that you didn't want to say because you weren't going in and discerning where people were, okay, and you may say something. Look, use the same discernment to figure out where people are on a vibrational level, even if there's something that's you've done and it's gone wrong, or something that you're embarrassed about. Use that same frequency. It's infinite. Remember, infinite avenues. It has already created a solution. It's already created the momentum, the path of relief around the hang-ups or the obstacles. You just got to tap into it. Okay? So I send you lots of love. Thank you for joining us for this week, for this weekly reading. I have purchased a new microphone, so let me know if you're hearing a little bit better or not. This is sort of the last option here, but just let me know. And everybody's not having the problem, so it seems to be something with YouTube, because it's not when I listen to the video on my phone or on my laptop or other devices. So I am trying different things and trying not to get frustrated about it, so I can stay focused here in the work that we're doing. So just let me know, and then I'll try to do the best thing I can do next. I'm just not a technician in any of this way. But I thank you for joining us here. If you haven't subscribed, then do so. If you haven't been to our Facebook page for the daily cart messages, really should go there. So you can find that in the description link below this video. Also, if you're looking for an angel reading, you can find me at theangelschool.com on the services page, where you can sign up for an angel reading. Some people have asked me about doing some spiritual development work, or you would like to get some coaching, spiritual coaching, like if you're just trying to focus on something in your career, or you're just having trouble staying motivated or focused. There's a 10-week session there, which can be used in any way that really benefits you. And one of them, if you get all 10, one of them is free. So if you're just you want to work and build your own tools of discernment, or your intuition, that would be a great program for you. All right, so Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the gifts that are unfolding from your emotional well being that comes from the source within you. So, God bless you all.